evening.
And hello.
We come to you from the Reagan Estate here at Perch 3434 South Almond Avenue.
Today, my colleague Jules and I, Stanford William McBueourgeson, shall be seeking the answer of In Search of Excellence, Lessons from America's Best-Run Companions.
And some, of course, would say it's an answer, but we approach it more as a question.
Indeed we do.
A question of, will we find victory over darkness in our quest? My colleague and I have spent years researching said things. We've scoured many novels, we've coerced with many academics, and what we have found is that
how to acquire and distribute and use absolute unlimited power.
Bias, of course, is the main problem when trying to achieve absolute total power. Well, my colleague, we stand here at halftime, so we'll call it a pause and continue on next week.
Ah, hello.
Oh, good evening.
Welcome again to our 69th annual celebration of Pomp and Prejudice. Twice again we shall celebrate the dear old chap.
Connecting the Dots to Terrorism, Chapter 14 of the fabled novel Bias by Bernard Goldberg. He's a Jew if I haven't met one.
We have a viewer, John Sturman from Competence, Rhode Island, and he writes,
a well-designed performance-based compensation system with a relatively small base salary and generous performance incentives that are tied to individual team and organizational performance will align your labor costs with... That's it.
Why do you think that the youth of today are belonging to clubs and groups and organizations that seek to destroy all that our generation has birthed?
Literature, of course, tells us
that
Culture and Society, the War of the Americas in England. Thank you.
I've thought of many, many academic proposals that I wish to propose academically often.
But of course,
youth today are using the internet, or its predecessor, America Online, to find out all of the chat rooms and various options available to them. Sinful, terrible, awful, the plague of society, boorish, terrible youth. What say you?
Couldn't agree more, my colleague.
Liberated, liberal youth, looking to uproot the morality and standard of today. Don't oil the squeaky wheel. We can no longer stand here with tires well oiled and able for progression. Twice I asked myself, how would one achieve unlimited power? Now, in seeking the orb of truth inside the Pyramid of Gaza, in the Middle East, we then long for to be a woman after God's own heart. Today, we have a pressing question to ask ourselves and to look within the deeper side of humanity. And that question is, Jules? Jules? Oh.
Earth.
Question mark.
Yes, can't help but agree. 4 pages in that encyclopedia devoted to the topic of your favorite, of course.
Jules has taken a step outside today, and I just wanted to quick tell you that man is unbearable. He's a bastard. He only will take his crumpets with tea, and he will never, ever, ever...
By Jove, Stanford!
Oh, hey, hello,
I
Jules.
see you there by then.
Ah, yes, you do.
horse race. I was going good now.
What the? Welcome again to our 64th annual rally for academia and the judicial process for distributing bandwidth.
Good evening,
Hello.
and welcome to the 44th edition of Masterpiece Culture and Society Speak.